Hello, hello. Welcome to our workout. Today, you don't need anything except a mat and space. This is a body weight workout. We actually haven't done a body weight workout in ages, like total body weight. Cardio and abs today. So we're going to do our warm up. We're going to do a cardio circuit, and then we're going to do an ab circuit. So some space, a mat, and water, and you're good to go. Let's get you nice and warm, and then we'll get into it. We're going to start with some jumping jacks. If you feel comfy jumping, go for it. Otherwise, you can step with me, and we're just going to ease our way into it because we got a lot of work to do today. 5 more seconds here, then we'll go nice and wide for side lunges in 3, 2, 1. Stay wide, bend one knee at a time. See if you can get a really good inner thigh stretch there. Start waking up those hips, getting that body nice and loose and ready to work. We've got 8 more seconds. Then we're going to do some arm circles in 5, 3, 2, 1. Let's actually stay here and we'll do a side bend and we'll do a little circle over to the opposite foot, to the center, to the other foot, side bend on the other side, and up. Let's go same thing but super smooth. Boom, 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 and up. Then reverse it, just slow. Side bend, opposite foot, center, other foot, side bend, and up. Then we'll go nice and smooth. There we go. Now let's do some arm circles. Big circles back. Now I've got to get back on track here. Big circles back, loosening up the shoulders, getting that upper body ready. A few more. And then give me some open and hugs. Alternate which arm hugs on top. Stretching the chest and the back. A few more here. And then let's do some side bends and twists. So give me a big side bend each way. And then a twist each way, rotating the upper body. Taking your time. This is a warm up. Trust me, we are going to be hustling in our workout. 3, 2, 1. Let's do some kick toes. Bring that foot up. See if you can tap it with the opposite hand. We're trying to loosen up the hamstrings. In 3, 2, 1. Let's do some squats. Find your nice comfy squat stance. Down and up. Sitting back on your heels. Knees follow the line of the toes. Chest stays high. We're going to get low in that squat. 3, 2, 1. Hip openers. Open up that hip. Bring it back. Switch sides. Stepping over something invisible. Keeping the body facing forward. Letting the leg do the work. Couple more of these, then we'll do alternating quad stretch in 3, 2, 1. Grab your foot, bring it up to your butt, 2 or 3 seconds, then switch. Same thing on the other side. Keep moving. We're not static stretching. Couple more, then we'll go into some inchworms in 3, 2, 1. Touch your toes, walk forward to your plank. And then walk back into your toes, stand it up, do it again. And on this one, we're actually going to push back into downward dog. And I just want you to walk your feet. So put one heel all the way down, lift one heel off, then switch it to the other side. Trying to loosen up your calves, your Achilles. 3, 2, 1. Let's go into plank, deep lunge and reach. Nice big rotation towards that front leg. And back to your plank, over to the other side. Big step, drop those hips, sink into that lunge. Nice big rotation. Let's go into cat to cow. Hands and knees, we're gonna arch the back, look at the ceiling, round the back, look at your legs. Trying to loosen up the back and your core, lots of ab stuff today. Obviously, I will either be sitting out the ab stuff and just demoing and explaining as best I can for you to do the work. Child's pose to cobra. Or I will be doing a modified version so that I can protect my core. And you are always welcome to do the modified version yourself. Or stick with the designated move if you're feeling up for it. From this one, let's push all the way back to a little crouch. 3 pulse hamstring stretch, 3 little pulses. Straighten the legs, stay as close to the floor as you can. That again. do one more. And gently roll yourself up. Give it a little shake. We're ready to go. All right, so here's how this is going to work. We are going to do 10 seconds of a move. Then we rest, we get a new move, and that new move lasts 20 seconds. We rest, we get a new move. The next move is 30 seconds. The next move is 40 seconds. Then there's a 50-second move. Then there's a 60-second move. So our moves are getting longer, but we get to rest between each one. Then we rest, and we're going to put them all back to back. So you'll be working at one move for 10 seconds, right into another move for 20, into another move for 30, for 40, for 50, for 60. We rest, we reverse it. Okay, so the same pattern repeats with 10 seconds, rest, get a new move, but we're working backwards up. You'll see how it works once we get into it. You don't need to know what's coming, but I find it helpful if I'm doing a workout where I kind of know like a picture of what we're doing. So that's why I'm telling you. Sounds more complicated than it is. You'll see as we work through it. First move is going to be inchworms, just like you did in your warm-up. You're just going to touch your feet, walk forward to your plank, walk back in. Now, it's only 10 seconds. So if you can, I want you to just go right from your feet to your plank, back to your feet, back to your plank, instead of standing up between each rep. If you need extra time to recover, if your wrists are bothering you, or the plank position is too much, like maybe you're also pregnant or early postpartum and you don't want to be in a plank position for too long, you want that extra second or two to come up, by all means, stand up. It just means you're probably only going to squeeze in like 2 reps and maybe someone else will be able to get 4 reps in. So if you can, why does this keep getting darker on me? 10 seconds of inchworms. Ready? In 3, 2, 1, let's go. Toes out to your plank. Back into your toes, back out to your plank. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Next up, we're going to do half burpees. So in that plank position, pretend I'm on the floor on my hands and knees. You're going to step into a bottom squat, release the hands, then right back into your plank. Jump or step into that bottom squat, then right back in. In 5, 3, 2, 1. So jump into that bottom squat. Jump right back to your plank. Jump into that bottom squat. Jump right back to the plank. Keep going. I'm going to do my modified and elevated. Get my core. Second to recover. And I am stepping, which is your modification. You can always do the stepping from the floor and rest. Next up, regular burpees. We know how these ones go. Instead of just jumping into that bottom squat, we're jumping in, jumping up, jump back, jump in, jump up. Plank position all the way to standing. I'll do a couple, demoing them for you, and then I'll do my modified elevated stepping version in 3, 2, 1. Jump back, jump in, jump up. Jump back, jump in, jump up. You want to modify, step back, step in and stand, or modify by elevating yourself and jumping or stepping that way. The elevation also works if you are someone who gets dizzy from going to the floor to stand. If you are modifying, make sure you're switching, which is your leading stepping leg. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Next up, we're going to do badass jacks. So just like a jumping jack, but our arms change. 1 regular, 1 straight up. 1 regular, 1 straight up. If you're stepping, same thing. 1 arm with the regular, 1 straight up. Take a deep breath. This is a longer interval, 40 seconds. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Regular, straight up. Regular, straight up. Jump it if you can, if you're good with high impact. If you want to go low impact, join me. Stepping. Our arms are the same, just our legs are different with the modification. This is a longer one. It's 40 seconds. It's going to hurt, but we're getting there. We're already more than halfway through it. 18 seconds to go. That heart rate should be up. That breath should be heavy. Getting a little sweaty. Feeling that whole body. 10 seconds. Calves should be burning if you're jumping. Almost there. 5, 3, 2, 1. Rest. Next up, we're going to do a squat and cross jump. So it's like a squat jump, but honestly, a little bit easier than a traditional squat jump. So we squat, jump and cross the legs, jump back out to a squat, jump in, cross the legs over. If that's not comfy, just squat and jump it together, or join me, squat, cross, step it. Ready? Let's go. Jump it if you can. Step it for low impact. This is a long one. It's 50 seconds. So a good option is to start with the jumping, start with a nice quick pace if you can. And then as it gets to be too much, you might slow down that pace a little bit, or you might drop it down to the modification. But I want you to keep moving for the whole 50 seconds. It's tough, but we are close, way more than halfway through it. Breathe through it, feel those legs, let's go. It's our cardio workout, so I want you sweating. I want you breathing heavy. It should be tough to get through these intervals. We're gonna feel so good when this is done. 5 seconds, 3, 2, 1, rest. Next up is our long one, but we're doing a right leg, left leg. We get to switch halfway, sprinter's jumps. So if you're good with jumping, backwards lunge, drive that knee, hop on the supporting leg, right back into that lunge, right back up. 30 seconds one side, 30 up the other. Modifying, we're doing the same thing, no jump. Ready? Let's go. So drive it back, drive that knee up. If you're comfy jumping, you're leaving that floor. So that supporting leg is jumping up, leaving the floor if you're doing the high impact version. This is our long one. It's 1 whole minute, but it's really only 30 seconds each leg. In 7 seconds, we go right into the other side. 3, 2, 1, switch sides. Take it back, drive it up. You got it. Keep breathing, keep pushing. We did one side, we can do the other side. We want to get low in that lunge, so don't dip yourself on the lunge portion. 10 seconds. In 7, in 5, 3, 2, 1, rest. Sip of water, not too big. So lots of jumping in there, you'll feel it. Now, we've got to repeat that as a flow. So, no rest. One move right into the next. Inchworms, into our half burpees, into our full burpees, into our badass jacks. So on and on and on. We're just moving the whole way through. In 3, 2, 1, inchworms, touch the toes, walk to the plank, walk back into the feet, right back out to the plank. 3, 2, 1, half burpees, jump into that bottom squat, back to your plank, into the bottom squat, back to the plank, step it for lower impact, step and elevate if you wanna watch that core a little bit more. 5 seconds, then regular burpees in 3, 2, 1, jump in, jump up, jump back, jump in, jump up. Low impact, same thing. Step back, step in, stand. This one's 30 seconds. Find your rhythm. You're already more than halfway through it. 10 seconds, then into our badass jacks. In 7, in 5, 3, 2, 1. One regular, straight up, regular, straight up. Breathe through it, set that pace. I know we're tired, but we're getting closer and closer. We only have a few moves left to get through, including this one. Whew. Let's go. Jumping if you can, stepping for low impact. Arms are regular jumping jacks, and then straight up. We're almost done. In 12 seconds, squat and cross jumps. 2 moves to go, you got this. In 7, stick with it. In 5, 3, 2, 1, squat and cross, jump, or low impact, step it, alternate, which leg crosses. Remember, this is our long interval, so find a pace that works for you to get through 50 seconds, 5-0. The good news is we're already halfway there. Squeeze those inner thighs to bring those legs across. Get low in that squat in the middle. Don't cut yourself. Don't cut those corners on that squat. Oh, how much are we dying? Very much. 8 seconds, then our sprinters jumps, whatever leg you want to start with. In 5, 3, 2, 1. Sprinters jumps, let's go. The good news is, this is the last time that it's gonna be this long for these moves because we're switching it back to front on the next round, and we get to add that rest back in. Remember, high impact, leave the floor, give me an actual jump. 10 more seconds on this side. Still give me that speed, give me that power, give me that full range of motion. In 3, 2, 1, switch legs, right into the other side. High impact, leave that floor, gentle landing, low impact. You're with me, we're still doing our lunge, we're still doing our drive, we're just staying, keeping that stationary, that front leg on the floor. Holy smokes. 10 seconds, big rest coming. Come on, let's earn that rest. I'm right there with you, struggle busting away. 5, 3, 2, 1, rest. You have a minute to recover, and we are gonna need that minute, because that was no joke. I can't even imagine you guys were doing the jumps. All right, now we're gonna learn this all over again, because the sprinters jumps we just did for a minute, boom, those are now our first move. That means they're only a 10-second move, 5 seconds each leg. So if you can jump, if you're good with high impact, but you were like 1 minute is way too long, this is your jam right here, because it's only 5 seconds each leg this time, okay? So that's the whole circuit we just did in reverse. Everything long is now short. Everything short is now long. We still have 15 seconds. Sprinters jumps, whatever leg you want to start with. It's only going to be 5 seconds each leg. So we got to hustle. We got to give it our all. Here we go. First leg in 5, 3, 2, 1. Drive it back. Drive it up. Leave that floor if you can. Switch legs right into the other side. 3, 2, 1. Rest. So now our 20-second move is our squat and cross jumps. Jumping to cross the legs, alternating which foot is in front, or stepping to cross it. Either way, we're getting into a low squat in the middle. We still have 7 seconds. Take a deep breath. Let that sweat drip. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Squat and cross. Are you jumping? Are you stepping? Whatever you're doing, as long as you're working to your capacity, it's challenging for you. I'm happy. Whew, stepping is no joke. I'm right there with you. I've got this medicine ball right here. Makes everything tough. Rest. Badass jacks. Coming next, 1 regular, 1 straight up. This is going to be a 30-second move, so it's still shorter than you did. We had 40 seconds last time. Whew. Catch that breath. Let's get ready. In 5, 3, 2, 1. Regular, straight up. We should be feeling those shoulders, feeling those calves. 10 seconds down, 20 seconds to go. How much do we love these rounds that have rest? How good is rest? Rest is a good time. Almost there. 10 seconds. Breathe through it all the way until that last second. Don't you quit early. We're too close. 5, 3, 2, 1. Rest. Next up, burpees. Jump back, jump in, jump up for 40 seconds. Low impact version, step back, step in, stand. Modifying the low impact version, elevate the upper body. Here we go. 5 seconds, whatever version you're doing, get ready for it in 3, 2, 1. Jump back, jump in, jump up. Let's hustle the whole way through. 40 seconds is not that long. It takes a while to do a burpee. It takes 2 to 5 seconds for each breath. So we're not going to squeeze in too many unless we really push that pace. See, we're already halfway there, 20 seconds down, 20 to go. Are we sweating? Are we dripping? That's where I want you. That's what this workout is about. Feeling that body move, feeling good. 10 seconds. 7 seconds. Come on, we need at least 1 more, 2 more if you're speedy. In 3, 2, 1. Rest. Next up, half burpees. So we're jumping back, jumping into that bottom squat, right back into our plank, or stepping with an elevation. You choose your fighter. Here we go. 5 seconds. It's going to be 50 seconds. 5, 0. 3, 2, 1. Back, right into that bottom squat. Release those hands for a second. Now your recovery points are at 2 points here. Your bottom squat and your plank. Doesn't seem like a recovery spot, but it's better than jumping. It's better than stepping and moving, isn't it? So use them if you need them. If you don't need that plank, as soon as you get to that plank, jump those feet back in. Hold that squat for a second or two. Jump back to a plank, right back into that squat. If you need both, hold that plank for a second or two. Hold that squat for a second or two. Make it work for you. As long as you're pushing yourself, as long as you're working hard, that's what this is about. 7 seconds, 5 seconds, 3, 2, 1. Rest. Inchworms, 1 minute of inchworms. So you have choices here. What we were doing when it was 10 seconds was just walking forward, back to our feet, back forward. That's awesome. If you can do a minute of that, that's what you're gonna do. If you need the break, stand it up. Take a second, come back down. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Toes, right out to your plank, right back into your toes, right back out to your plank. This one is all about that upper body. You do get that hamstring stretch when you touch the toes. You can really feel the shoulders, the abs, the back as you're crawling out to that plank. Make sure you get all the way down into that plank. Now your modification here is to stand it up. You could also do this from your knees. Keep going if you're feeling good. Halfway there, 30 seconds down, 30 left. So you could be on your knees, walk out from your knees to a modified plank, back into your knees, and you could even stand it back up or just stay down here, whatever works for you. Okay, so there are many choices. We can always keep moving. We can find a way to make that move work for us. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Rest. Whew, the last of the cardio section is upon us. We know what's coming. We're doing that same rhythm that we just did, starting all the way with those sprinters jumps for 10 seconds, all the way through to those inchworms for 1 minute. No rest. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Then we're done. 10 seconds, sprinters jumps. It's gonna be quick, so we gotta be quick too. Here we go in 5, 3, 2, 1. Lunge, drive it up. Leave that floor if you're doing high impact. Switch legs right into the other side. 3, 2, 1. Squat and cross. Jump or step. Cross those legs. Squeeze those inner thighs. Get low in that squat. 10 seconds down. 10 to go. Hustle through it. Let's go. This is the end. Cardio's done in a few minutes. 5 seconds. Then badass jacks. 3, 2, 1. One regular. Straight up. Regular. Straight up. Keep a gentle bend in those knees. Stay quick and consistent. This is a 30-second interval. We're already halfway through it. 15 down, 15 to go. Tap those hands all the way up overhead. In 10 seconds, right into our burpees. Jump back, jump in, jump up. Step it or step it with elevation. 3, 2, 1. Burpees. Jump back, jump in, jump up, or modify as needed. This is a 40-second interval, but we know it flies by. We want to push ourselves. We're already halfway there, 20 down, 20 to go. Ooh, it's not about punishing ourselves. It's about celebrating ourselves. How much we can do, how far we've come, how awesome it is that we can move our body. 5 seconds, then half burpees. In 3, 2, 1. Take it into that bottom squat. Right back out to the plank. Are you jumping? If you can, I want you jumping. If you don't need that time to recover in that plank, don't take it. As soon as you hit that plank, jump back into that bottom squat. Jump back out to that plank. You're on the floor if your body allows. This is a 50-second interval. 5-0. It's a long time, but I know you have it in you. We're at the end here. 20 more seconds of this move. Then we're on to our last move, which is our inchworms. 15 seconds. Getting closer and closer. Now just 10. Come on, let's finish this move. You've got 8 more seconds. 5 more seconds. In 3, 2, 1. Let's see those inchworms. Touch the toes. Walk forward to your plank. Right back into your toes. Right back out to your plank. Or if you're choosing to modify, stand it up. Take a breath. Come back down again. Or modify further by doing it from your knees instead of your toes. It's 1 minute, but these inchworms take a long time. Get all the way out to that plank. Let's engage that core. Guess what? We're halfway there. 30 seconds down, 30 seconds left. You're crushing it. Getting closer every single time you walk out to that plank. Now you only have 18 seconds to go. That's tiny. 15 seconds, even smaller. 10 seconds. What are we going to do with all that time? We're going to work. 7, 5, 3, 2, 1. Rest. Holy smokes. I hope you're as sweaty as me. Take a breather. Not too long though, so we got to move into the next one. But while you're resting, I'll explain what's happening. You're going to do abs. Same rep scheme. It's just that when we work our way back up, when we reverse it, we're not going to rest in between because you know all the moves. We're just going to switch them around. So this one will be over a little bit quicker. And like I said at the beginning, I'm like 6 months pregnant, 6.5 months pregnant. I feel like I'm 900 months pregnant because it feels like I'm just the size of 3 pregnant women this time. But I'm going to do the best I can to find modifications that are safe for my core at this stage of pregnancy. But there are some moves that I just will not be able to do. It just isn't safe for me at this point, like a full extension sit up. In which case, I will explain it to you. I will try to show you as best I can. So hopefully everything makes sense. So just listen carefully for these parts. And then once you have the moves, then you're good. So we're going to grab your mat. Bring it on over. You're going to start with a V-sit release. So I'm going to demo this using my hands braced behind me, which is a modification option for anybody, and only releasing one leg at a time. When you do this, I either want you to use no arms or use the arms still braced behind you, but do both legs at the same time. So you're going to squeeze your abs and you're going to release your legs up to a V and then tap them back down to the floor. Release your legs up to a V, tap them down to the floor. Now I'm modifying it by alternating one leg at a time, okay? And bracing my hands. You're going to try to do no hands, leaning back, making that little V shape, tapping them down, making the little V shape, tapping them down. If you want to modify, still you can do no hands, you can do one leg at a time, or you can brace your hands, do both legs at the same time, brace your hands, do one leg at a time. Your option. It's only 10 seconds for this first round. Ready? In 3, 2, 1, let's go. Another thing that makes this easier is if you aren't straightening all the way, where you're going not quite up as high, not quite as close to the body. And rest. See, super quick. Next up, Russian twist. Hard version, you're not going to touch your feet to the floor. You're going to lift them off. Easier version, you're going to anchor, okay? Now, if you're lifting off and your hips, your legs are going crazy, nope, bring it back down. We're going to lean back. You're going to tap your hands to one side and the other, twisting your body. You're probably going to be able to lean further back than me. I'm going to stay a little more upright. 3, 2, 1. So twist. So you want to find a spot where you're leaning back far enough that you can feel those abs, and we're really twisting across the body. If you want to make it harder, lift those legs off the floor, release the feet, still keep a bent knee, or keep them anchored like I am, your choice. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Next up, we're going to do an earthquake hold. Hardest version, straight legs. You're going to scoop, kind of make your body into like a C shape, and you're going to come back as close to the floor as you can get, not like laying down, just like leaning back until you can feel the abs, and you're just going to hold it there for 30 seconds. If it gets to be too much, hold it as long as you can. Sit up, take a breath, and come back. I'm just going to modify by gently bending my knees and not going back as far. Ready? Let's go. So I'm just like barely leaning back. Still my abs are shaking. Still I have to work really hard to control my intra-abdominal pressure, but If you are a little bit stronger in your core, if you don't have a baby in your belly, you can probably lean back like another, 30%. 10 more seconds. And if you can keep the legs straight, keep the legs straight. In 5, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Next up, full extension sit up. So this is one of the ones I can't even really demo for you. You're gonna lay totally flat on your back. You're gonna sit all the way up. You're gonna touch your feet. You're gonna lay all the way back down. I want you to control the lift and the drop. It should be smooth. Your feet should stay glued the whole time. If it feels like too much, here's some options. You can use your arms to help you get up, and then just focus on the controlling of the drop back down to the floor, then use your arms to get back up again. Or you can try a regular sit-up, which gives you a little more hip flexor help. Ready? Let's go. So all the way from the floor, all the way up to your toes, all the way back down to the floor. Use that breath to help you. So your core connection, keep going, is very important. Lift up from the pelvic floor, into the spine, wrapping those obliques around. We want to control that intra-abdominal pressure. So if you see coning, a bulging along the midline of your abs, that's a no-no. We want to modify from there, or we want to take a break or sit that exercise out. You need to control that pressure so the abs stay looking the same at the easy part of the movement as they do at the hard part of the movement. No bulging, no coning. 5 seconds, use the breath. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Next up, starfish, touch the opposite toe. So you're on your back. You're gonna keep your legs straight. You're gonna lay out totally in a starfish. You're gonna lift up one leg and you're gonna crunch up and try to tap it with the opposite hand. Then lay back and do the same thing on the other side, okay? So you're gonna try to meet your leg halfway if you can. So meet that leg halfway, lifting the upper body up. 3, 2, 1, let's go. So you're laying flat on your back, then you're coming up, trying to tap the opposite foot. If you can't connect with the foot, that's okay. If you need to add a bent knee to make it easier, that works too. The modification here is just shortening the range of motion. So maybe the leg travels 80% and the upper body is more like a crunch instead of like sitting up halfway. And remember, you're alternating sides. Maybe you're not quite connecting with the foot, maybe you're just reaching towards the foot, or if you're making it really hard, lay totally flat, come up and meet it halfway, smack that foot. 20 seconds, then you get to rest. Breathe, 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 breathe. We're letting that breath out. Remember, at the hardest part of the exercise. So as you come up to meet that foot, push that air out. I just spit. 5 seconds. In 3, 2, 1, and rest. Last move in this order is a plank. So we're just gonna flip over. You're gonna hold a plank on your forearms and your toes. Your modification here is just to come to your knees, but make sure your hips are in front of your knees and you can still feel the abs. If it's comfier to come up on your hands, by all means, come up on your hands. It's 1 minute. So if you get through like 30 seconds and that's all you have, drop down, take a few breaths, shake out the wrist, come back. Ready? Let's go. Plank. So forearms and toes if you can. If you're modifying, you can come to your knees. And you can always reset and come back. If you're modifying to your knees, make sure your hips are in front of your knees. Check on those abs, take a peek down, no bulging, no coning. We've got everything nice and tight, nice and flexed. You're breathing through that flex. We're already more than halfway there, 25 seconds of work, then we get to rest. Lifting up from that pelvic floor, that's where the ab connection starts. 15 seconds, stick with it. Let it burn. That's why we're here. In 10, in 7, in 5, 3, 2, 1. Relax. All right, not too relaxed because now we got to do that whole thing with no rest. So we're doing it as a flow, moving right from our 10-second move into our 20-second move, into our 30-second move, all the way to our 1 minute move. So we're at our V-sit releases. You're doing both legs at the same time. No hands is the hardest version. Hands or one leg at a time. So you're here if you can. It's your modification. 3, 2, 1. So I'm doing the extreme modified version of having my hands and doing one leg released at a time. 3, 2, 1. Russian twists. I'm going to anchor my heels. You can always take your legs off if you would like. I'm tapping my hands to one side, then the other. And I'm sitting up a little bit higher than you probably are. You can probably lean back a little bit further. Find that spot where you can feel it, but you still have total control. In 3, 2, 1, earthquake hold, lean back, find that C shape. Remember, you're leaning back further than me. You can always modify further by bending the knees, whatever's comfy, straight legs, bent legs. And if you can't quite hold it for the 30 seconds, hold it as long as you can, and then come out of it, take a breath and come back. In 10 seconds, you're going to lay all the way down on the floor for full extension sit-ups. I'm gonna hang out and just talk you through it in 5, 3, 2, 1. So lay all the way back, sit up, touch your toes, lay all the way back down. Try to have it be nice and smooth so there's no sticky point. If you're feeling that sticky point and you're kind of like pausing and then you get a big jolt to come up, that's often telling you that it's momentum picking you up, or you're using your hip flexors or other muscles to lift you up instead of your abs. So your abs are showing you, this is all I got, this is my sticky spot, this is where I end, and then something else takes over, okay? So we want it to be smooth and controlled. If we're not quite there yet, we're gonna modify. Maybe you try adding a bent knee, maybe that's a little bit easier for you. Maybe you use your arms to come up and you control that deficit. You get stronger on that drop back down. In 5 seconds, starfish, touch the opposite toe. 3, 2, 1, lay flat in that starfish, come up, touch the opposite toe. Lay flat in that starfish, come up and touch the opposite toe. Try to meet it halfway if you can. If that feels like too much, little crunch of the upper body, leg travels most of the way. If you need to modify further, then bend the knees. This is a long one, it's a 50-second interval, but you are flying. Breathe through it. You're halfway there. 25 seconds down, 25 to go. We have one more move left after this one, and it is simply a plank. So we're flipping over in 20 seconds for that forearm and toe plank, or if you're modifying, maybe you go to your hands, maybe you go to your knees. Let's see those last couple. Starfish, touch the opposite toes on each side. We've got 8 seconds. Bam, touch that foot if you can. 5 seconds. And 3, 2, 1, let's go. Find that plank position. This is a 1-minute interval. It's a long time that we're holding that plank, especially after you've already done all of that ab work. That's a ton of work leading up to a ton of work. So give yourself some grace. Check on yourself. How's that form looking? If that form is starting to suffer, what are we going to do? We're going to modify, or we're going to take a break. We're going to reset. We're going to come back. Halfway there, 30 seconds down, 30 seconds left. Big rest coming up in 25 seconds. We just got to breathe through, we got to hold. $15 seconds, see, getting closer and closer with every single breath that you take. Last little push here, you just got to stick it out for 10. We should be feeling those shoulders, those abs. 7, 5, 3, 2, 1, and rest. All right, stretch it out, breathe. So now we're doing the exact same thing, but in reverse. So now our 1-minute move, our plank, becomes that was our last move, now becomes our first move, our 10-second move. So in 33 seconds, we're back to that plank. Now remember, in the cardio section, we reversed it and we like started with having rest after each move. So we kind of got to like get used to this new setup. And then we did it with no rest. Nope, this one, we know the moves. We're gonna just rock through it in reverse. So I'll tell you what's coming, but in 10 seconds, all you need to know is plank. So we're back into that plank in 7. Here we go in 5, 3, 2, 1, find your plank. 10 seconds in that plank, then you're gonna flip over for your starfish, touch the opposite toe. In 5, 3, 2, 1, on your back, starfish, touch the opposite toe. So lay totally flat on that back. Bring that upper body up, bring that leg up to meet each other halfway. In 10 seconds, you're gonna lay flat for your full extension sit-ups. 7 more seconds of starfish, touch the opposite toe. So we are flying this time. 3, 2, 1, lay flat, legs together, sit all the way up, touch your toes, lay all the way back down, control the lift, control the drop, check on those abs, check on that breath. This has now become your 30-second move. 15 seconds down, 15 to go. Next up is going to be your earthquake hold. So the legs are already in place. This motion is already in place. It's just that we're going to freeze like halfway back, like we're almost going into another full extension sit up. In 3, 2, 1, find that earthquake hold. Now, we did 30 seconds for our last earthquake hold, and 30 seconds is a long time to be in an earthquake hold. They call it earthquake hold because you should be shaking like an earthquake. So 40 seconds is a really long time. So I want to make sure you have good form the whole time, that you're working the whole time. So get there, make it hard. I would way rather you have to come out of it, take a breath, reset, and come back than for you to get through the whole 40 seconds without feeling anything or doing it improperly. In 12 seconds, we're going to sit up a little higher. We're going to anchor the heels, or we're going to take off the legs for Russian twists. In 7, you only have 2 moves left. In 5, 3, 2, 1, anchor those heels. Let's twist one side, then the next. This is all about the obliques. So I want a big twist. Look over that shoulder if you can. Check on what's happening behind you. You're going to be here for 50 seconds. So you may need to modify this a little bit. If you had your legs off the whole time in the previous rounds, maybe this time you have your legs off for the first 20 seconds and then you anchor those heels. Maybe you're not leaning back quite as far, or maybe you do it exactly how you did it the whole way through, or maybe you do that, but you have to come out of it, take a breath, shake it out, and come back. 20 seconds, then we finish abs with our V-sit releases in 15 seconds. So in 10 seconds, hard version is no hands, both legs, getting straight, getting up high, close to the body. 5 seconds, 3, 2, 1. No hands if you can, both legs at once if you can. And the closer you can get that leg to your face with a straight leg, the harder this is going to be. So make sure that body is in sort of that V shape. If you need to make it easier, you can anchor the hands like I am, and/or you can do one leg at a time. You could always keep a little gentle bend in your knee. You could always keep that leg a little bit further away from your body. You're already more than halfway through it. You guys keep going. Breathing. Last little push. You only have 18 seconds to go. Stick it out. Flex those abs. Hold on to that feeling for the last 12 seconds. How's that breath? Don't hold that breath. Just hold that flex. 8 seconds. I know you can squeeze in at least 2 more. Take your time. Don't rush it. We've got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Awesome job. Let's stretch. Let's stretch out those hip flexors. So right away, we're already seated. So let's stay seated, cross one leg over the other, lean forward, and we'll just get like your hips and your low back a little stretch there. Nice deep breath. And then give me a stretch towards that front leg. And the other way. And then let's switch, put the other leg in front. Same thing, lean forward, feel that stretch in the low back, especially on the side of the front cross leg. And then come back up and we'll do our side bends. And our side bends. And let's stick those legs out in front of us. And let's start with the toes pointed away from you. Push back so you can see my toes. Pointed away. Come over, find that hamstring stretch, and then slowly flex those feet so they point back towards you, and you should feel your hamstrings and your calves like crazy. Breathe, stretch out those hamstrings, lots of jumping, cardio circuit, and then relax those legs. Let's go flip over into Cobra. So just drop the hips, drop the shoulders. If it's not comfy to be on your hands, you can always drop down to your forearms. But just trying to lengthen those abs, stretch it all out, stretch out that low back. And then let's push back into child's pose, sit right down onto your feet, press your forehead into the floor. You can actively press those hands into the floor so you feel that stretch in your upper back. Deep breath. And then let's tuck those toes under. Let's reach into downward dog, feeling that stretch again in those calves and the hamstrings. Let's block it all in. One more breath at the feet. Roll it all up. We are done. Thank you so much for sweating with me. I will see you in the next one.